Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Rassle This! Today on the episode, we're just going to have a cigar smoking channel.
It's a cigar sesh.
Yeah, cigar sesh.
Special guest. We're going to talk some classic wrestling today, buddy.
That's right.
It's going to be killer.
Favorite wrestler, favorite tag team, favorite pay-per-view, that kind of thing.
Definitely. So we invited a jobber today. If it was Star Trek, he'd be a red shirt because he'd be dead first.
Yes.
Because there's only, the tag champs right here, buddy.
From parts unknown.
Weighing in at 755 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen.
7 feet 4 inches tall.
Ravishing Rob Rhines. Rob Rhines, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Grab a mitt, bud. Grab a mitt. Get in the middle. Get in the middle.
Thank you.
Totally.
Settle down.
Settle down.
Welcome, Rob. Thanks for,
Who invited this guy?
I did.
All right.
Well, we got nothing. Thanks, Rob.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah,
thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Come down, No. We're going to hire you on maybe a little executive producing. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see how you work out.
It doesn't pay, though.
It doesn't pay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Make a dish.
It's like every other job. No worry at all.
Yeah. Maybe we'll let you touch the $1 Million Championship.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe.
We won't.
So let's segue into, we're going to talk classic wrestling. We'll each go over our favorite wrestler. Give you a couple minutes. We don't have a couple minutes. A couple seconds to think about it. Who wants to go first? Favorite wrestler of all time.
Favorite wrestler of all time? Newbie, what do you got?
I mean, for me, I'm into the dark stuff, the creepy stuff, horror fan. I gotta go Undertaker. Yeah.
Oh, there you go,
yeah.
Undertaker.
Undertaker all the way. I've always loved the Undertaker. As a wrestling fan, I've been in and out. I check it out from time to time, but I'd say all time, probably, Undertaker.
Best Undertaker match, what do you think?
That's a good question.
So many good ones. I mean,
Yeah.
Immediately, obviously, the Hell in the Cell comes to mind.
Yeah.
But there are others.
Yeah.
I
I
did enjoy his last one.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
The grave match.
The Boneyard match.
Boneyard match.
Styles.
Yeah.
I like how he came in, like there was like that waiting, the big production with the hearse and everything, and then AJ Styles popped out, but then you hear like just this motorcycle coming down the road with Metallica blaring, and then the Undertaker came in like, wow, like it was.
Yeah, it was a great. I mean, honestly, definitely a good way to go out.
Yeah,
it was cool seeing it cinematic like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
1,000%.
they had to work with the Taker's limitations, which was great.
It worked.
Still. Oh yeah, totally. 100%. He still performed really well.
Mm-hmm.
They went through, the badass to, the dead man, which is great. They covered all of his genres in one match, which was excellent, and it's a good way to kick it off.
Yeah,
and
sure.
AJ sells like a champion.
He did. Like there was no other person at that time that they could have slotted into that to have like a really good farewell retirement match with Taker. So that was perfect.
Did I say Taker? I meant Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville.
Hey, he did great at WrestleMania last year.
He did.
And it was a lot of
He took
fun.
Sammy to the limit.
He did.
But I mean, kudos to Sammy. Sammy's been a great character, over the last couple of years. I mean, he's elevated his game to almost main event level right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, Johnny Knoxville was a great build to, this year maybe him main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, what a difference a year makes from getting a bowling ball in the and the boys to maybe, a chance to hold the strap.
Yeah.
There you go. From worst to first.
Yeah, that's right. Chad, you want to go next?
Favorite wrestler all time, gotta be Stone Cold.
Okay, yeah.
I'm bald, I'm beautiful under this mask. So,
There he is right there.
There he is. Here's a little mini version of the Chad right there, bud.
I'll let the production fool you.
Yeah, totally.
Funny story, when I first met Chad, the first thought, before I even knew you liked wrestling, the first thought I had was, man, this guy looks like Stone Cold.
Definitely. At one point, I know I'm a stellar, 185 pounds right now, soaking wet with, 6.5-inch biceps.
On the roids.
On the roids.
Yeah.
Lifting
hard.
At one time, I was a little bigger, and I did get mistaken every once in a while. It was,
I can see that, especially if you had the vest.
Yeah, definitely. It was the black shirt. I had, a couple of earrings.
Yeah.
You could definitely pull off the look if you were trying.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor, but I mean, at the same point, the guy's like 75 pounds heavier, and could like kill me.
Kill us all.
Kill us all. So no,
Nice,
definitely
great pick,
greatest of all time.
Favorite Stone Cold match then?
Favorite Stone Cold match would be him, Bret Hart, the double turn.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 13.
WrestleMania
Yeah,
13,
great
probably
match.
greatest Stone Cold match ever.
Yes.
You
One of
know,
the best, like very underrated.
But if you got like, you know, speaking of Stone Cold matches, like him and Steamboat way back in the day, they used to go hard at each other too, right? So
Austin and Steamboat?
yeah, way back.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'll
Back in
have to
WCW.
check that out.
But back in WCW days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I can
you
see
know,
that. Yeah.
So, but I mean, again, him and Bret Hart was magic.
Yeah.
Magic. They told a great story.
Yeah. Oh,
Beginning
wow.
and end, and then, you know, the double cross, no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Definitely one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time that never gets considered as one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time.
No,
Like
WrestleMania
WrestleMania
for a
30
time.
That's it's true. And that year, like that was a weak Mania,
It was.
but that was the best match.
It was.
By far.
Could have main evented, no problem.
Oh god, yeah. It should have probably. But then the make way for the title, Psycho Sid against I think Undertaker, but it was bad.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, then segue to me. I would have to pick Hogan. Obviously, anybody that knows me in my private life knows I'm all about Hogan. I was a big Hulkamaniac as a kid. But it would be a tie for me between Hogan and Sting. I loved Hogan as a kid, leading up to like being the broody, like gothy teenager. I loved Sting. The Crow was one of my favorite movies. So obviously Sting took that character. So you would think that leading up to back in the day with Starrcade 1997 in WCW, Hogan and Sting, and I was so pumped for that pay-per-view. I was like, oh my god, my two favorite wrestlers of all time are main eventing for the title, and it sucked. It was terrible. It was a botched finish. It was supposed to be a fast 3 count. It wasn't a fast 3 count at all. And then there was like some kind of schmoz between Bret Hart was there to be a special guest referee earlier in the night. He came in, restarted it, and Sting basically just body slammed Hogan and put him in the sharpshooter or the Scorpion Deathlock and won. But I was like, but wait, he just got pinned by Hogan. Like, so
And that
yeah.
was, I mean, that was the state of WCW back in the day, though. Like, that was right
For sure.
before they went right into the tank.
Yeah.
You know, Hogan had creative control, and, you know, like, when you got Bischoff by the short and curlies, you pretty much do what you want, look how you want.
Yep.
And, I mean, you know, how many finger pokes was Hogan involved in, right? For the title. Come on now. Exactly. You know, and as far as Sting goes, for one of the, I mean, he is a great wrestler.
Yes.
But I don't think he has the titles to compare to Hogan.
Oh no, God.
You know.
No, not.
But as a character, he was amazing, and I
Yeah.
mean, they really missed the boat with him and Taker.
Yes.
I mean,
for sure.
They
that should have been it when he came in at
It should have been-
31. They should have just
Hogan-
Sting, Undertaker at Mania, but
Totally.
make way for Sting and Triple H, and now here comes the NWO to help Sting.
and DX.
Yeah,
like,
which didn't make any sense.
Let's stop bringing back old people.
Sting spent his entire career in WCW fighting NWO, but now the NWO is coming out to help him against Triple H. Like it didn't make any sense, and he lost, which also sucked.
Yeah,
But
Triple H needed his rub.
that's right. Yes, you got to bury WCW
WCW
forever.
Totally.
Yeah, so that was rough, and the WWE mishandled Sting. Like I'm sure they promised him the world and all this stuff, but then you had to know as a wrestling fans, like they're just gonna screw him over. They're gonna do whatever they want. They're gonna promise him everything, and then nothing kind of came of it. But now he's killing it in AEW. Actually, the guy's 62 years old and he's jumping off rafters and doing all kinds of amazing matches with Darby Allin. So, if I had to pick a favorite Hogan match, help me out here, guys. Hogan didn't really have great matches. Hogan and Warrior was pretty good at WrestleMania 6, just because I was 6. So,
I hate you both.
well, we won't talk about how old Chad was at WrestleMania 6.
Totally.
But yeah, that
probably is gonna be his greatest.
I think
match.
so. Yeah, like the match was good for especially two guys who are not known to be good in the ring.
Yeah.
Just kind
But
of the story
Hogan
they told.
claims to have carried that match. So,
yeah.
whatever. They got lucky.
Yes, it was just right place, right time, and they
Right crowd.
Yeah, right crowd for
In
sure.
Canada.
Yep,
Of course.
Right. Yes, for
Hogan
sure.
loves Canada.
Yes, that he does. But he didn't really have really good matches. I like if I had to pick another one, WrestleMania 7 was actually okay with Slaughter, but that was again all Slaughter kind of carrying
Totally.
Hogan, telling that story between like at the time they were going with the Gulf War and United States and stuff. But and then having Hogan go over, obviously back in the day, it was no surprise. But yeah, I'd have to pick WrestleMania 6, WrestleMania 7 as best Hogan matches probably.
I got a question for you guys.
Yes. Okay.
So we've talked about our favorite wrestlers.
Yes.
Are there any wrestlers over time that you started out not liking that over time kind of grew on you? Or that you would say you like now that you didn't start out liking?
Oh,
Great question, Rob.
Definitely.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you
I'd have to say Edge. I did not like Edge back in the day. I didn't like the whole like the Brood kind of thing, and when they kind of led in with him and Christian, so then he was always like a tag guy. Leading into the Rated R Superstar, I didn't really buy into that. Like, I hated him, which was his job at the time to make me hate him because he was a heel. But now I love him. Like when he came back at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago, and like that pop and that, like, you know, I got goosebumps all over. I almost cried.
Yeah.
And like it was his story of being out so long, and he had worked so hard to come back from like what was at the time a career-ending neck injury. So yeah, I'd have to pick Edge.
All this day.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
I know for me, like growing up, like I came out of, I guess, like the era where there was lots of like characters. So it was things like Undertaker, Kane, Yokozuna, Doink the Clown.
Doink.
You know, all those guys that had like the characters.
Spear.
So going into like the Attitude Era, I think I kind of met that with a little bit of hesitation just because it was a change. And I can remember like everyone being like so sold on Stone Cold, and as a kid I'm just like, this guy's a fucking asshole. But now when I watch him as an adult, I'm like, this guy's a fucking asshole. This is great.
Yeah. Honestly, probably. There you go.
That's supposed to be Flash.
Yeah.
And then the other one, it's sort of in the same vein as like, I remember as a kid always hating the character Mankind. And I don't know if it's because I like played a lot of Warzone on PS1 and it was just him like squealing like a pig every time you would beat him up.
True.
And it drove me nuts. But then like as an adult, like getting to know more about Nick Foley.
The man behind
Nick Foley.
totally.
I'm just like, this guy is nuts.
Yeah,
like the stuff that he pulls off.
Definitely. Once they started doing those interviews with Jim Ross.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's when the whole Mankind thing kind of turned for him, right? Because
yeah.
They brought up, you know, him and
they took him out of that like weird kind of like
that's how Dude Love came about.
Yes.
You know, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was great. Now for me,
you're
back
out
in
there.
the day. See, of course, it was The Rock for me, because that was my era. I mean, Austin. I always loved Austin because I was bald, had a goatee and some earrings, so we got to like. It was great. The Rock definitely, because I mean, he came out as such a baby face. He couldn't use the mic to save his life, and again, like they did with Reigns, when they want somebody, they push him down your throat. That's all they did.
Right.
Like he won the Intercontinental Champion within like 15 seconds of being around.
Yep.
And he still had that goody image, you know, like the turn was the best thing for The Rock.
Yeah.
Out of everything.
For sure.
You know, and then, you know, him picking up, you know, the mic skills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably the best mic man in the business next
to
Ric Flair.
Hands down. Yeah, it'd be tough. It's Ric Flair and Rock. I mean, two different styles of kind of promos and stuff, but yeah, that's a great pick. I still hate The Rock. I always did. I mean, I never like. I don't see him when I watch his matches. I don't see like what other people see, this great in-ring technician, all this stuff. Like I don't.
No, he's another John Cena 3-move wonder.
Yes.
You know, people's elbow, rock bottom.
Yeah. And some showboating and like selling.
You know, then he does his, you know, the Arn Anderson drop there. There you go.
I've never understood how you know if you're a John Cena fan or not. I mean, you can't even see him.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what happens when John Cena wakes up in the ICU and he says to the nurse, "Where am I?" And the nurse says, "You're in your ICU." No, you can't.
No, you can't. Well, the less I see of John Cena, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, but he's old.
Yeah.
And it's time for the next generation to, you know, come back through. Excuse me.
Yeah. Agree.
You know, I think this is his farewell tour. I think it's going to be a shot to WrestleMania. He'll probably take one of the titles around SummerSlam, Survivor Series, to break Rick's record.
They should do that.
They need to. I mean,
they made a
the
big
modern
push.
era. I mean, and you know, Rick's made a lot of trouble lately, so
Yep.
they're probably one of taking that stink out of everybody's mouth. I mean, Charlotte alone will be the greatest women's champion of all time.
Oh God, yeah. No question.
I mean, she's already on her way. I mean, she's got 14 titles. She's been there 5-6 years.
Not
so
long.
yeah.
Yeah, not long.
So
She's
yeah.
got.
They got that. That's the legacy they want is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, they could bring her to 20.
Easily.
times, probably.
Easily.
So 20 times over.
So.
Okay, yeah. Let's go into maybe favorite tag teams. Would be good.
It's a tough one for me because
yeah.
I don't really remember a lot of tag team stuff.
Oh, buddy, for me,
I was
obviously,
always more drawn to like
Singles?
individual characters. Yeah.
my favorite tag team of all time is Legion of Doom. Just obviously their look. I always loved their face paint. Obviously, funny story actually. When I got married a couple of years ago, and my mother during her speech, she mentioned how I like to paint people's faces like the Legion of Doom. So,
Nice.
Yeah, she had, of all the things that she could say, she had to make sure that she told everyone there that Dennis likes to paint his face like Legion of Doom.
Well, I mean, you did have a heavyweight title delivered to you
I
on the altar.
had
So,
no,
Come on.
I had no part
Come
in
on.
that.
I
My
agree.
wife,
Your wife is awesome.
yes, I agree, and she said
Seriously?
no wrestling at the wedding.
I know.
And I'm standing up there at the altar, and boom, like this music hits from a local guy, and instantly she's like, "What's happening?" And I said, "I have no idea." And then I see the wrestler, and I just think, "Oh my God, I'm going to die. My wife is going to kill me." And then she's like, "Did you have something to do with this?" I was like, "I had nothing to do with this." And then I was going to throw my friend under the bus because I thought it was Tyson. Shout out to Tyson if he's watching. You better be. And then yeah, I was shocked because she had made it so adamant, no wrestling, no wrestling. So I was like, okay, yeah. I got all my groomsmen wrestling socks. That was I thought that was a good way.
That's what you were allowed?
Yeah,
That's
I thought
perfect.
that was a good way to tie it in.
And I think we
but,
should shout out to Chinlock Wrestling as well.
Yes, shout out to Chinlock Wrestling. Justin, obviously, if you're watching this, love you. Big fan. CJ Felony.
Awesome job.
Speaking of
Yep.
shout outs, shout out to Caitlin. It wouldn't be a Dennis DeLine wedding without a championship belt, right?
That's true. That's true. And the best part was it ended up on Rob's shoulder as he was walking out
Yeah.
of the.
Dennis said the favorite part of his wedding video was me and Heather walking out with the belt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Any other memories or well, tag
Just-
team, yeah, tag team.
Tag teams for me, I mean, Hart Foundation.
Yeah,
Greatest technicians of all time. I
Yeah.
put them above the Rockers. Definitely.
Yep.
Uh,
Great pick.
Great works. And I mean, like Brett from there, he went to Intercontinental Champion and to Heavyweight Champion. And again, Canadian. Gotta pop the Canadian boys.
Yep.
He deserved it,
For sure.
He carried that company for a couple of years through a lot of the crap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially after
Until-
Hogan leaving.
Yeah, definitely. Until he got, the Montreal screw job, had a stroke, got bitter, and
Yep.
Goldberg put him out for good.
Yep.
So,
pretty much. But yeah, that's. I mean, Hart Foundation's obviously up there too. They'd probably be my second pick. If I really had to pick.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, maybe like the Powers.
Powers.
Hogan and
Oh,
Savage.
Mega Powers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mega
oh,
Powers, man.
I think you mean Mega
I mean,
Douches.
yeah,
Douches. Yeah, really.
I mean,
They
should we
stole
do the
it.
hand?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, brother.
Exactly. I mean, whether you love them or hate them in the
Yeah.
in the ring, it's
Dude,
always
they were tag
entertainment
team
when
for
they're
like
talking.
15 seconds.
Yeah, not long. It
Yeah.
was pretty much.
It was just the build.
it was the build for WrestleMania 5, but.
But their promos were just pure
Oh,
testosterone.
yeah.
Definitely.
And cocaine. And cocaine.
Yeah.
Testosterone
Randy was
and cocaine.
crazy.
Randy Savage's voice is just the embodiment of like testosterone and cocaine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
1,000%.
And anger.
Yes.
And anger. Yeah.
And more cocaine.
Yeah.
More cocaine.
Well, I think this video's gotten out of control, but
I know we ran out of time.
yeah, we're getting close to time here. Executive producer.
Yeah, definitely.
that's it.
Ravishing Rob, he's got to go
Yeah.
home to his
I
mom.
guess I've been hired in the course of this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Totally.
yes.
Yeah.
There, it's time
There
to
you
close
go.
down.
It's
But,
time to close down. We're gonna unscrew his chain and
Yeah.
send him on home.
Yes, that's right.
So, until we meet again,
If you can't wrestle each other, wrestle this.
go turn that shit off.
See you next time. Oh, that was good too. Look at us, just fucking pros.
A little bit of that cocaine talk.
Oh, we